Happy New Year from us, assuming that you're listening to this just after it came out, or if you're listening after like Chinese New Year. It is our first episode of the year 2024. We're at 2024 ready to go. I'm Luke Hare, he, him, sometimes they, them, and I am joined on this podcast, DohMance Dawn, by my lovely and beautiful and queer co-host.
I'm one of those things at least. Hello. My name is Janine. My pronouns are she, they, and I don't have a third thing to say.
You're in one of your favorite states of being.
Uh Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was mentally going through my states of being.
you kind of forgot that you'd had a bit of stuff. I mean, I could impair myself a bit. Santa brought some of those like liquor filled chocolates, and those kind of helped to smooth the edges off. This is DohMance Dawn. This is the podcast where we talk about One Piece and The Simpsons as contemporary animated series. And since the last episode that we did, Netflix was like, hey, we're going to start One Piece again as a new series, an animated series, which is something that I'd actually called back on like some discords a while ago. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be wild if they did this as like a long-term investment? And now they are. But this is episode 45 of the series.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to cover that at all?
The Netflix version of the show.
Yeah, I mean, like, it
Well,
feels.
the Netflix animated version. We might. I mean, we also didn't really do anything in the live action episodes, and we
Yet.
haven't covered any of the movies or specials yet. We will be covering one of the specials coming up soon, but that's one that kind of falls into the timeline and more directly sets some things up.
I can't wait to find out what that means, but
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about those things though. I mean, like, um you've cursed me with being a nerd.
I mean, I haven't just cursed you. We found out that former guest of the show, Ben Khan, has caught up on the manga.
Huh.
Ben, congratulations. Congratulations. Ben,
Eh,
congratulations.
Ben, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Um wow. You're in it, huh?
Uh-huh. I mean, it's good. There we are, I think this year going to be hitting some of the spots where I gotta drop a content warning, but otherwise, One Piece is good. It's good.
Hmm.
These episodes initially ran between August 13th and October 29th of the year 2006.
You don't really taste Fireball when it's inside Dr. Pepper. It's kind of weird. It's just kind of like you're just drinking Dr. Pepper, and then all of a sudden there's like a little bit of extra cinnamon at the end of it. It's like no fire at all.
I feel like we're going to be recording an SBS after this one because I'm going on a break, but I think I might get myself a drink for that one and see how it goes because I also have some Dr. Pepper from pizza that I ordered for lunch dinner. The Simpsons episodes that ran during this time include The Mook, the Chef, the Wife, and Her Homer, where Lisa starts hanging out with Michael, Fat Tony's son, and she finds out that he wants to be a cook, but he is supposed to take over the family mafia business, and it becomes a joke when they find out that he wants to cook, so another mafia family shoots Fat Tony, and Michael comes to them offering to make peace with them, but then ends up killing the family instead. It gets dark.
I should preface right now.
Hmm.
I usually give very witty, quippy remarks between these episodes. I had not seen these Simpsons episodes. My regular place where I obtain things is not cooperating,
Oh no.
so I am needing to get a little bit more creative, but nothing
Yeah.
escapes my grasp.
I mean, there's deals for like temporary trying out Disney Plus, but okay. So I'm the one who's guiding these things this week. The next one is Jazzy and the Pussycats, where Bart gets a drum kit to deal with his energy, and he turns out to be a really talented drummer, which ends up making Lisa jealous. Marge, trying to settle things, gets Lisa a puppy, but then she starts adopting other animals, which leads to her adopting a tiger, which bites Bart's arm. The other musicians who all like Bart hold a benefit concert for his arm surgery, but Bart donates the money to help the animals instead. Also, the White Stripes show up in this one.
I don't know how I feel about the White Stripes. It's just Jack White now.
Well, they went apart because like Meg White specifically didn't want to be a public figure and like publicly play music anymore, which I think is completely fair. But also, you can't get the White Stripes without her. Like when they would go on tour and she wouldn't go, the other drummers had to learn to play as her, and there's a lot of misogyny.
Kind of a weird energy.
Yeah, but it's a good one. Like we get a full on like good Bart and Lisa story. Lisa adopting a bunch of animals is cute, and we get a bunch of silly names of jazz musicians.
You know, I have had an irrational fear of getting attacked by a tiger when I was riding my bike.
Uh huh.
Because just those idle thoughts, those worst case scenarios, those fun little moments your brain likes to come up with that just hey, what if this happened?
Haunt
Just to
you,
just
yeah.
to yeah, just to mess with you. And
Mm-hmm.
it got stuck on tigers because like learning that like yeah, they're legal to have in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's enough for just me to be like it would not take much for a tiger to escape. I don't know who would have them or how they would get there. But they're gonna get me. I would bike out like near wilderness, so it kind of
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. But also, I'm an idiot, so it doesn't.
I I feel like if a tiger would escape from somewhere, though, it would be in a more urban area, but also that tiger would be horrified by cars and probably even bicycles. Like, there's a lot of dogs who just freak out the first time they see a bicycle because they have no idea how to process it.
That's true. You think I'd be able to take out a tiger?
It might scare them, or at least you might be able to ride fast enough away for it, or if you have a bell on your bike or some sort of signaling device. Janine, do you have a bell or a signaling device on your bike?
No.
Janine, proper bike operation says that you should have a bell or other sort of signaling device. Also, most states have laws that say you shouldn't wear headphones while riding a bike, but a lot of people don't obey that law either. Do you wear a helmet?
Eh,
Do I need to call my parents in law to give you a proper bike safety demonstration? Because they would love that.
the fact that you said because they would love that really makes me want to say no.
They are like certified bike teachers. Like they can teach you how you can legally and safely go onto a highway with a bike.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
almost had a panic attack hearing about that.
it's not a great idea, but sometimes you have to. But yeah, my friend, you should wear a helmet because it takes one bike injury to mess things up, and you don't want to mess up your face. I say, as a person who would have had a really big scar on their face if they had not been wearing a helmet when they had a bike accident. And you know what that bike accident did to me, Janine?
What did it do?
It limited my ability to play Hades that year, the first year that everybody was really into it, because I also injured my thumb.
Oh.
I know. It's a hard knocks life. The third episode is Please Homer, Don't Hammer Them, where Marge starts a carpentry business, but she can't get business from anyone because everyone is sexist. So she has Homer pretend to do the work, and then Homer escalates things and keeps taking credit and ends up promising to fix the town's historic roller coaster, and Marge quits. Homer tries to fix it, unveils it, and goes for a ride, but he didn't actually fix it, so Marge has to save him, and Homer admits that he lied. And then this one actually had a B plot where Bart finds out that someone at school has a peanut allergy. It turns out to be Skinner, and Skinner looks up and finds out that Bart has a shrimp allergy, and so they go into prank wars against each other. Any questions?
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of a huh. That feels like that would have gotten somebody in trouble in some way, you know?
The allergy one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very silly. Like, Skinner and Bart both fight with sticks with peanuts and shrimp on them, like they're lightsabers, and they even use the Star Wars fighting music.
Huh.
New characters that we can use now include James Hetfield of Metallica, Jack White, Meg White, Sketch Friendly, Bossy Marmalade, Shaky Premise, Ray Ray Takamura, Bilbo Baggins, Bean Ghosts, Marlin from Finding Nemo, Marcus Marbles Le Marquez, Bossy the Cow, Taco Belly, and Photo Booth Eels, along with many more. You know what's going to make this one really interesting as well, Janine?
What's that?
We have hit the point where there are no longer images that are necessarily on Freakiac.
Whoa, we're
Yeah,
going into uncharted water.
we are. Though I did get a called shot for a character that I realized today. For those of you who are reading the manga, it is a character who's been factoring in quite recently, who we're going to be introduced to, is going to premiere in the same batch of episodes as Shauna Chalmers. So get ready for that called shot. None of that really means anything to you, Janine.
Not at all.
Not at all. We are going to be discussing One Piece episodes 275 through 283. These episodes include, are you ready?
Yeah.
Robin's Past, the girl who was called a demon.
The fated parent and child. The mother's name is Olivia.
Olvia.
Olvia.
Yeah, it's not quite Olivia, and it's not quite Olive, but it comes with a pastry.
My dyslexia has been
No,
fucking
it's.
with me this whole time, and I thought it was Olivia.
I also thought it was Olivia too for quite a while, but it is Olvia. Tragedy
Olvia.
of Ohara. Fear of the Buster Call.
Say you want to live. We are friends.
Jump into the falls, live his feelings.
A man's way of life, Zoro's techniques, Zeus upstream.
Tears, which were weaved, the bond of French. Oh, fuck. Tears, which weaved the bond of friendship. Nami's world map!
Separation refines a man. Sanji and Chopper.
All for my friend's sake. The darkness within Robin. uh, Say you wanna live, I will not go. Fuck off, Buster Call. I'm not going home. So, if you don't remember where we are, currently Straw Hats are on one side of a massive gap, and CP9, Spondum, Frankie, and Robin are on the other side.
And
And
they stay there for a while.
yeah, we get to, I think, the last time where they do this sort of recap, because animating live is very strenuous on the artist's hands, and they caught up with the show too much. Or they caught up with the manga too much. With Frankie and Robin in his clutches, Spondum threatens to use the Buster Call on the Straw Hats. And we then flash back to 20 years ago to the island of Ohara, where Nika Robin is a child who is bullied for her devil fruit powers and is mistreated by her foster parents. Her only refuge is reading, and she is also friends with the librarians on the island, which include Professor Clover, and they all work in the Tree of Knowledge, which is the largest library in the world, which is also in a big old tree. When she receives a doctorate, the librarians throw her a party, but Robin's biggest desire is to know what happened to the blank century and the secret of the poneglyphs, which is forbidden to be researched, and Clover is worried that Robin will end up like her mother, Olvia. The next day, Robin finds the giant Jaguar de Sol washed up on the beach, and Sol is a peaceful giant who asks her to keep his presence a secret, which she promises to do because she doesn't care who he is and nobody talks to her. And Sol shares his secret with Robin that whenever she feels sad, she can just laugh so she feels better. Oh, big old Jaguar. Meanwhile, Spandine, who is Spandam's father and the current head of CP9, is called out to Ohara, and coincidentally, that is when Nico Olvia returns to the island on a empty Navy ship. When the researchers hear about Spandine's ship, they are worried that the government is coming after them. And meanwhile, Saul has been working on constructing a raft to leave, but when he hears that Robin's mother is Olvia, and that he has landed on Ohara, he knows that the island is going to be the target of a buster call along with all of the scholars, and he begs Robin to hide what she knows. Ovia returns to the librarians and warns them that she was the only surviving member of a research group that left, and the Marines found out that they all came from Ohara and have now come to the island to get rid of all of the other researchers. Ovia is also unaware that Robin has been following in her very footsteps. Meanwhile, Aokiji, who at this time is called Kuzan, has arrived, and he is alerted about Spandine reaching Ohara. And were you confused about the Kuzan thing, Janine?
I didn't know if he had like a last name or anything, so I just rolled with it.
So Aokiji is a special nickname title that we see. So Kuzan is his actual name. Aokiji is the kind of like government identity that he uses, which translates into blue pheasant, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So Robin goes to warn the librarians about the government ships, but Clover says that they should be fine if they all stay quiet. And while that's going on, the CP9 agents begin evacuating all of the non scholars from the island. Olvia confronts Spandine, aiming to kill him, but fails, and Spandine explains that he came to make an example of the librarians of Ohara to scare all of the other scholars when he kills all of them. The scholars get rounded up, and Spandine brings Olvia back right in front of Robin, and neither of them recognize each other, which is some great dramatic irony.
Yeah, this show's
Mm-hmm.
good at that.
Yes. Alexander McKendrick, my buddy, would be happy about it if he was still alive. R.I.P. Alexander McKendrick. Mourn you till I joined you. Thank you for all of your advice and the advice you continue to give. Read On Filmmaking by Alexander McKendrick. It is an amazing piece of work. That's my plug for the week, Janine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got the book for Christmas as a recommended gift from a friend of the show who will eventually be on, Dom Griffin, and it's it's written by the guy who founded the film program at UCLA.
Oh, the very one that no, I got nothing.
Or is it Cal Arts? I keep getting that mixed up.
Either way, very inaccessible to me.
He also went and oh yeah, no, it was Cal Arts School of Film and Video. Uh, yeah, he wrote or he taught for 25 years how to make films, and then all of his students like kept their notes, and that was collected into a book, and it is really good to read if you want to do any sort of writing.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So the soldiers, meanwhile, report that they found a poneglyph inside the tree and forbidden research, allowing Spondine to kill all of them for breaking the law. Clover wants to still have a chance to share his theory about the blank century with the elders of the world, which isn't going to go well. And Saul, meanwhile, is running across the island because he wants to rescue Robin. The five elders are uninterested in Clover's research, and Clover thinks that it might be because the people who originated the world government may have been an ancient enemy who fought the people who created the poneglyphs, who have otherwise been erased from all of history. And that's when the five elders are like, hey, yeah, you can kill all of these scholars because they're doing crimes.
That fucked me up, Doc.
Yeah, yeah. These folks got some stupid names, but yeah, we're getting into other phases of what One Piece is about, and it's always wild. So Spandine orders the Buster Call, which is when five Navy ships basically just bomb the hell out of an island. The Tree of Knowledge is lit on fire, threatening all the books and documents inside of it. The remaining librarians rush in to put out the fire and to try and save the books, while Spondine starts to take Olvia away, and she prays that Robin has escaped everything. That's when Robin realizes who Olvia is and calls out to her mother, and Olvia, trying to protect her daughter, denies Robin. But Robin keeps calling out because she always just wanted to spend time with her mother, and she reveals that she can read poneglyphs too. Oh boy! Yeah. How are your guts feeling? Do you like that gut punch, Janine?
Well, I mean, it's a lot like Robin's thing where it's like you have to tell the truth no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens, and I can't like fucking if you don't look like you're gonna have any other time.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Clover realizes that the library was always going to be destroyed, and Spandine, fearing for his life as the Buster Call begins with the battleships firing on the island, runs for his life, abandoning Ovia. Robin and Ovia get to hug as the island is ignited, and Clover tells them to run so that Robin can maybe sneak onto a ship, and that's when Saul finally reaches them. Ovia asks Saul to take Robin because she has one final task to do, and Ovia tells her daughter that she needs to preserve the past to protect the future, and tells her daughter to live. Meanwhile, Kuzan sees former Vice Admiral Saul carrying Robin to save her. Kuzan already had issues with the Marines planning and killing all the scholars, and Saul was the one who had tracked down Ovia, but she made him kind of think about what he was going to be destroying. And when he was called to do the Buster Call, he said nope and freed Ovia and deserted the Marines and tried to let her warn her friends. And that's the irony of him washing up on this island. So the cannons start targeting Saul instead, who once again is a giant. And so he destroys a Marine ship and calls for Robin to make it to the evacuation ship.
Before we go,
Spondine.
I gotta
Mhm.
say something about
Yeah, yeah.
our friend Jaguar de
Uh-huh.
Soul.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, when he shows up
Mm-hmm.
on the island, he's got tattered clothes and looks beat to shit.
Yeah.
But when we go in the flashback and we see what he looked like when he defected,
Mm-hmm.
he just looks the same. Like his regular off-duty clothes are just torn to shit, and he's just fine with it.
I mean, he's a giant, and if you have giant ruined clothes, you know what you get?
What do you get?
A giant tailoring bill.
Oh my god.
So Spandine prevents Robin from getting onto the ship. So Saul ends up attacking Spandine's ship in response. Kuzan gets in the way of their fighting, and they all suddenly get distracted when Vice Admiral Sakazuki destroys one of the ships with people on it, which disgusts Kuzan. Sakazuki is going to be around for a while. He really sucks.
Yeah, dog. I mean, like, I understand the mentality here, but it's like it's shit.
Yeah, like he.
And the fact that like it wasn't off screen. We
Mm-hmm,
know there are people there. We know there were children there,
mm-hmm,
and now there isn't.
mm-hmm.
That like I had been saying that I wanted death back in this anime.
Uh huh.
And this feels like when you're trying so desperately, shaking a ketchup bottle, hoping to get some red out, and then it all just comes flowing at once. And now here I am with red all over my fingers as
Uh
I
huh.
have to look at what I've done.
Merry Christmas, Janine.
It's the name of the treasure.
In the Grand Line.
A person who's very turned on by middle aged women. That is very much me, yes. Where do we leave off in the story, by the way?
So the ship is destroyed. Saul tries to run off with Robin, but Kuzan freezes Saul to the ground, and Saul promises that one day Robin will find true friends because nobody is born into the world to be alone, and he dies laughing while being frozen alive. The Tree of Knowledge falls to the flames, and Olvia dies on the island. Robin makes her way to the shore, and Kuzan decides to leave her in a rowboat and creates an ice path to protect her, suggesting that she keep a low profile and promises that he will come after her if she ever breaks the law. Robin gets in the boat and leaves, forcing herself to laugh as she goes off alone.
It's sad as shit,
Damn!
y'all.
Yeah. As the Marines investigate the wreckage, they find the books that were tossed into the lake, and the Marines then start trying to capture Nico Robin. And over the years, Robin goes to different people who, in turn, try and turn her in as her legend grows, and eventually she ends up with Crocodile. In the present, we now understand why Robin is horrified about the Buster Call being used as a threat, and Spondon refuses to believe that he could ever get caught in the Buster Call's attack. Janine, you
Yeah.
know what Chekhov's gun is, right?
Yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
is when it's a penis.
No, that's Freud's gun.
No, that's a pipe.
No, that's Mondrian's gun. Let
No,
me
that's
double
a
check.
delicious sandwich.
Oh no, it is Magritte. It's Magritte's gun. That
Yes, the
is.
crime dog.
No, that's McGarnagle. Yeah. So Robin doesn't want her friends to get caught up in a Buster Call because she feels like the world government will never stop chasing her, and everyone she loves will get hurt as well. Spondum gloats that these Straw Hats can't oppose the world government, and Luffy's like, "Hey, guess what? Soge King burned down that flag." And so Soge King uses his new weapon, Kabuto, and the flag burns up, and the Straw Hats declare war on the world government for their friend. Luffy tells the world government to bring it on and asks Robin to say that she wants to live. And Robin realizes that these are people who love and support her and care about her, and they are willing to fight for her. They aren't here to betray her like almost everyone else in her life has. They aren't here to use her like almost everyone else in her life has. And Robin declares that she wants to live. And as the drawbridge that's supposed to connect these two islands starts to go down, it stops. And that's when Granny Kokoro tells the Straw Hats to jump across the gap. And Luffy, trusting and everything to work out, pulls the Straw Hats with him to make a daring rescue of their friend. One Piece!
This is some shit.
Uh-huh.
Because getting to see such a sad story
Mm-hmm.
this entire time, it was a fucking lot. And to come out of it to know that Nico Robin had survived despite so much going against her, to have just been ready to die, to say leave me to die, to change everything, because friendship, and to say I want to live. And personally, I felt that. And like, I know I have other friends that have also watched One Piece, and they mentioned this particular point because it helped them accept hard shit that they went through and still feel like that they deserve happiness too. And
Hell
maybe
yeah.
that's the name of the treasure.
I mean, the real treasure is friendship.
Yeah,
Get
and
your
you get
friends.
there by getting on a friendship.
What?
I was doing your thing where I make a terrible joke. Sorry, it might have been confusing.
No, I was just doing your thing where sometimes you know sell me. Oh. All right, so we have 22 characters to cover this week, and three of those, I believe, are characters who we are adding them now because they have gotten names since we started the show. One Piece. Everything's always growing sometimes. So are you ready to come along with me?
Yes.
So first up, we have a trio who their part in the anime kind of gets cut down, but I feel like you get enough of it. That is the mother Roji, the daughter Mizuira, and the father Oran, who are Nico Robin's aunt, uncle, and cousin.
I didn't
And
know if Ant was like, like an actual relative or
like how that worked.
I don't know. Like I guess I just rolled with it. I kind of knew that their time was gonna come anyway, so I just didn't like think about it too much. Don't get too attached.
So
They'll do everything to make you attached, but you can't get too attached.
Oran is Ovia's brother.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's the letter they have in common. Oh,
Oran, yeah. You know, you name all of your kids with the same name. Yeah, we don't get a lot here in the manga. It's a bit more explicit. It's like we're taking the daughter who we love to go and have a big party for her birthday. You have to stay behind and clean. It's very Cinderella shit. So, I have three sets of suggestions here. My Rodrigo style was some of the animals that Lisa adopted just because there weren't a lot of good fits for this. Roji was Bossy the cow, Mizuira was Circus Bear, and Oran was Circus Elephant, which I think would just be silly. And then actual ones that I had were in, I believe, Call of the Simpsons. There was a camping man, a camping baby, and a camping woman, and that could work just because we need a unimportant family unit. Or I also had on there Mr. Sampson, Mrs. Sampson, and Gerald Sampson, aka Baby Gerald, aka the baby with the unibrow.
wow. That baby
Uh
got Uter piles for me before, but you're rolling it out now.
huh.
Okie doke.
You know, it's not safe to keep babies under an neuter pile.
So, yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
Who do you have?
I have, let's see here. I did a pair for mother and father, Roji and Oran. I have as the Marge and Homer frauds, paid
The one.
actors that Burns had paid to try to trick Bart
Mm-hmm.
that one time. And
And then,
for Mizuira, I
mm-hmm.
have Brittany Brockman, Kent Brockman's daughter, that also kind of pisses me off on how spoiled she is, but it's on no fault of her own. The vibe was the same. So,
So, can I offer a suggestion that builds on yours?
ooh, I love
Because
that.
I believe the way that they are described in the Simpsons official guidebook is they are the um, actors, the Marge actor, the Homer actor. But then, what if, just to go with that set, we use the Lisa actor as well?
Huh. Well, it would knock off the whole set so we don't have any stragglers.
Mm-hmm. No
I'll go
one
with
left
that,
behind.
yeah.
Awesome. So, I am adding that on. I got a point, and Janine, you got 2 points there. I also realized just because it has been a weird set of time since we started working on these, I forgot to post the suggestions that people had from our Discord, which, Janine, can you talk about that Discord for a moment?
Okie doke. Well, we post our Discord. Sometimes all you really need to do to find it is just ask nicely. In there we post memes, a lot of different things from Simpsons board posting. Whew, that's kind of a weird one to say, but also premium content can be found there. What could that mean? Don't go in with high expectations. Uh,
It is beautiful every time, Janine.
It is every single time, does not get old. But we also have where we play out call for suggestions. People can be able to do that, and also a lot of the listeners that we have are also past guests, so they're also kind of hanging around in there too, kind of like having a little bit of fun anytime that any Simpsons or One Piece news comes around.
Hmm. Yeah, we would love to get more people to join our community that we have, and I think it's very low key and chill. It's not one of those 200 posts a day discords where you don't have a personality.
Yeah,
And also,
if you want a Discord channel where like you can just kind of like in about 15 minutes look through all the posts that have been posted in the day and then just decide if you want to engage in something or post something else new that there is there. There's not that much pressure. You don't feel like you'll get lost if you don't check it for a day.
mhm. I excuse me. I also forgot to call out previous guest on the show, Devin, gifted me with the first unofficial piece of DohMance Dawn merch. He got me the shirt of the Burns Gonfall riding Smithers as Pierre cover. And he explained the process that he went to do this, which was getting permission from Mike P, who I had been asking for months to say, hey, could we do this as an actual shirt? Could we do this as merch? Would you be fine with that? Mike was keeping that from me, which I appreciate. But then also he went and had to edit the logo for the show because he could not find a PNG of it and edited out all of the white to put that on the shirt. So I now have that shirt. I've not had a chance to wear it yet, but a solid bit. Thank you, Devin.
I Yeah, that is a hell of a gift.
Yes. All right. So up next we have Professor Clover, who, along with Professor Sam eh, who, along with Professor Sam and Professor Alex, make up the Professor Totally Spies.
Ah,
Ha ha ha. Who do you have for Clover?
I have Caleb Thorne. If I'm remembering correctly, that is the manatee scientist played by Alec Baldwin.
Uh huh.
Yes.
I didn't remember the name, but then as soon as I saw a picture of him, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can see that. He is
Who do you got?
very doomed. He also has a bonfire of sort for his research, a bonfire of the manatees. Did you have any other suggestions for
I
him?
did not. I really only have one suggestion for all of these, but they are very well thought of.
Mm-hmm. So I have three suggestions. My Rodrigo style is Anwar Benitez, who is just a hippie jazz musician. I try and fill out the Rodrigo style, even though it doesn't work. Hollis Hurlbut is a popular choice, but I feel like the fact that he tries to suppress the true history doesn't make him fit. But, and are you ready for the good suggestion?
What's that?
Suck it, Trebek. Alex Trebek.
Oh.
I would trust Alex Trebek to keep a secret in a positive way.
I wouldn't.
You don't trust Alex Trebek.
I wanted somebody of truth who understood the beauties of the world and wanted to protect them, who really wanted to get in there, two fists, and
Pere, 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 pere.
get inside of a manatee.
Pere, 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 pere.
Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt your fisting, Janine. We are getting a call of fan suggestions. That one welder guy suggested Professor Frink, and Atticus suggested Professor Frink Sr., and I don't think either of those really fit.
Mm.
Because Frink is an inventor, not a researcher. And trust me, there is a difference. I feel like we're going to forget about Caleb Thorne. Otherwise, I'm going to go with Caleb Thorne. Let's have a sexy Alec Baldwin professor.
Yes.
All right. And then we're just going to get into a bunch of people who, they died. A lot of people, they died. All my friends, and they died. Up first, we have Rent, who... How do you feel about her swag, Janine?
I feel it's kind of smug.
Yeah. My Rodrigo style for her was Cantaloupe St. Pierre, another jazz musician. The other suggestion I had was Goody Sarah Wiggum. I don't want to use actual Sarah Wiggum, but will I use a Pilgrim Sarah Wiggum? Sure, why not? Who do you have for Rent? Not the musical.
I have Smug Girl.
Smug girl. Standing in the barn being smug. Smug girl. Which one is Janine thinking of? Smug girl. She really looks kind of high. Smug girl. She's got DeviantArt fan art by Gemini JC. I mean, Rent is an adult. Let me see if I can easily find a picture of Cantaloupe Saint Pierre. Because I remember some of them were actually good. Yeah. I am sharing this on the Disco. There is a Cantaloupe Saint Pierre, Janine. I feel like Goody Sarah Wiggum kind of fits the overall vibe and especially hair color more and build.
Uh, I guess.
They don't matter, Janine. These are one-star characters. Though I have been wrong before. Up next, we have Hack, who is another adult who looks like he could be a Bob's Burger character. He wears a green and white striped shirt. My Rodrigo style is shaky premise, and then I had Huck Finn and Nelson Huck Finn, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Huh.
Oh, right, because Hack and Hawk, those are sort of similar.
Eh. I actually have a trio going with a couple of these, so I'll go ahead now.
Mm-hmm. I did post an image of Shaky Premise, who looks like a Steve Buscemi.
Kind of.
Like Steve Buscemi mixed with what's the name? The weird looking guy from Casablanca. Weird looking guy.
Oh my god, don't tell me.
It is not Claude Rains. You used to be good, Google. Peter Lorre.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so my trio is
Mm-hmm.
for Hack,
Mm-hmm.
Bushiri, and Roche. And that is Doug, Gary, and Benjamin, the nerds from Homer Goes to College.
So Hack would be Doug.
Yes, Busuri would be Gary, and Roche would be Benjamin. If you look at them, it kind of fits visually, or at least there is some matchup between these nerds and these nerds.
You know what? I'm feeling kind of lazy. So I'm good to accept those. We've got 2 episodes to do tonight. My other one I had for Bushiri was African American teacher. My other one I had for Roche was Nerdlinger. And then the Rodrigo styles for them were Drop Jaws, Turner, and Sketch Friendly. But you know what? Let's wait. Have we used them before?
Shouldn't have. There's at least a couple that I checked.
Uh, we have used Doug. Um,
Nah.
yeah, that is our Marco. So we can't use Doug there. Doug is denied unless we can figure out some alternate appearance of Doug. Um, let's see. Let's see if we can find it. Yes, we meant Doug the nerd. Um, he is unfortunately not in any of the alt universe ones, according to Simpsons Wiki. But let's check out our good friends at Wiki Simpsons. Or sorry, uh, no, I am sorry to say we cannot use him.
Well, we still have two others we can use.
Yeah, I'm willing to be lazy on those.
Then I'm willing to
So
concede to whichever you find most appropriate for the for Hack.
um, I am pulling up. Yeah, let's do the Huck who was in the initial The Boy Who Knew Too Much, not the Nelson version. Huck Finn is our hack.
All right, that works for me.
We're doing real Washington politics here, Janine. Real Washington politics.
Well,
All
someone's
right.
got to. Those fat cats up in Washington aren't.
Those clowns in Congress, what a clowns. Up next, we have Graham, who is the hot one. Um, the characters I had were Jazzy Good Times Waitress, who let's not that one. who mainly reminds us all that jazz musicians do a lot of drugs and are very forgetful. And then also, I had a librarian, and this librarian specifically has a Simpsons page. Let me see if I still. Yeah. I will get you that link in a moment. Who do you have?
I have Mrs. Frank. I did not have time to be searching for a hot woman, so I just found a convenient woman. Ah,
She's blonde. She's a librarian, and I feel like we need to say Mrs. Frank for someone who's going to be wronged by whoever we get as Mrs. Frank, because Miss Frank stops existing after a while, as does Frank's son.
all right. I'm good with the librarian then.
Cool.
I wasn't too attached to Mrs. Frank, if you know it. Kind of like how Mr. Frank probably wasn't.
Ha ha! Up the next, we have Zadie, who has a cowboy hat, a mustache, and would you consider that a chin strap beard?
I don't know. It doesn't look that detailed. We don't know the
Yeah,
size of his chin.
a lot of these characters are background ones, and so they're very much sketchy. Who do you have?
State Comptroller Atkins. It does not look very similar. I wasn't very strong on it. We have a lot of names that we wrote down for us to talk about for this very night. We stopped being precious with them, and that shows up in Janine a lot more than Luke sometimes. But
Oh,
also
I
sometimes like Janine gets really too involved in one particular choice.
I did these like 2 weeks ago as well.
Ah,
Uh huh. I like to work ahead. That's not all. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. Say no more. My Rodrigo side was Bossy Marmalade, just tossing another jazz man into it. And then I also had Cowboy, who is a cowboy who rides the monorail, wears the big hat, has a mustache, and I weirdly we haven't had a lot of cowboys, but I feel
well,
like that fits the vibe more. A strange cowboy man who rides a monorail.
I'm fine with the cowboy. All it takes is for a hat for me to say yes.
Ladies, remember that if you ever want to ask Janine out. Up next, we have Hoka, who is, seems like he's lanky, has long black hair. My suggestions were Robert Trujillo from Metallica, or Library Clerk, who is the cool librarian who Lisa is attracted to, but I think Robert Trujillo, I'm probably getting that name wrong, has the look more. Janine, who do you have for Hoka?
Poochie artist. The artist that actually draws Poochie in the concept phases. Um, I'm pretty passionate about how similar the look is enough for me to jump on it. And plus, animators are also just big nerds, so
Mm-hmm.
it falls in line with my nerd theme.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go with Poochie Artist.
Hell yeah.
We've got an even split. It helps that both of us are kind of burnt out or trying to go through these quickly. Up next, we have Jaguar D Soul. Hey, these actually matter again. My Rodrigo style is, well, there's one little hobbit. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, bravest little hobbit of them all. I also had George Meyer and Postmaster Bill.
Oh.
Who you have, Janine?
I have Bruce Vilanch. Or is it Valanche? It's not Valanche. It's got to be Valanche.
No, it's. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, no. I always think that like Bruce Valanche is like a big like queer comedian, and no, he isn't. I just mix him up with other folks. Um, Interesting. How strongly do you feel about Bruce Vilanch?
It's basically a look and a vibe that it's not really too much deep into being a giant or fucking being former military or anything else. It's just basically kind of like, oh hey, look at this man's hair and beard. Oh hey, look at this man's hair and beard. Oh hey, let's make them kiss. Something like that.
So George Meyer is one of the actual Simpsons like producers, and he also wears a bucket hat, and he's also tall.
How do you be an adult and wear a bucket hat, I wonder?
It was the '90s, Janine. How were you an adult and didn't wear a bucket hat? And just for posterity, here is Postmaster Bill, who took the students on the trip to the postal office.
Yeah, I guess the bucket hat kind of works. Yeah, you came in with the hat. That's enough for me to give it to you.
Oh, wait. But I also, let's see if I can find a picture of Bilbo Baggins.
It
Oh,
would
right.
really
It's an
feel
action
weird.
figure. It's an action figure.
It would really feel weird if I went like, "Hey, that's this fucking big thing. Let's cast a small thing, a very small thing."
Uh huh. Okay. So it is George Meyer, who is our Jaguar D Soul. Next we have Lasky. Hey, Janine, do you know who Lasky is related to, who we've seen on the show?
Ooh,
Khalifa.
really?
Mm-hmm. That's her dad.
Oh, okay.
Who do you have for Lasky? Shoot. I totally skipped past the suggestion
Pere, 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 pere. Pere, pere, pere.
for Jaguar D Soul. Mike P. and Atticus suggested comic book guy, and comic book guy would not sacrifice himself for a child.
He wouldn't. I can't. Like, hmm.
It's purely a build thing, but I don't think it's a good fit.
If if comic book guy has a character arc and like experiences any actual change in the future, that is fine. But right now, as we know him, I can
Mm-hmm.
only cast him inside of a villainous role.
Oh, I mean, he gets a wife in a few seasons, but he doesn't really change that much, and his wife is a whole other kettle of fish.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not fucking a kettle of fish, Janine. But
Um,
also, if we are looking for that changed comic book guy, we could instead use Alan Moore, who appears in that episode. Alan Moore.
Alan
Uh,
Moore.
Alan Moore, friendly neighborhood Alan Moore. Spins a web any size, paints the Brits like other
He
guys.
would
Look
hate
out!
you for that.
Don't ask
Oh
about
my
Watchmen.
god. We like comic books sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Lasky.
Lasky,
Mm-hmm.
I have George C. Scott. He was the lead actor in Burns's adaptation of Man Gets Hit with by Football.
George C. Scott does not have that sexy energy, Janine.
He gets hit in the groin. I mean, like, I don't know what to tell you, but if a character gets hit in the groin and I have somebody who's like fucking military service, I'm gonna want to like fucking put on that guy.
Okay. Well, my Rodrigo style is CSI Miami. And
Okay.
then I also had Major Nougat. And then also, because this is Khalifa's dad and she is a Marge robot, I put on Robbie the automaton, who is the robot that is like, oh, that's what that robot's name is.
Huh.
The danger, danger. So I think that would be a funny joke building on that continuity.
I do
But I
like
also,
that.
mhm.
But it really wouldn't be for anybody but us. But I also like would probably not use this robot for anything else, so
Yeah, we
sure.
don't get to more robots for quite a while. All right, so the joke lands. I am excited for the Khalifa fight we have coming up because, boy, when this gets adapted, you'll be like, oh, what did I do? We made bad choice. We then got Spandine, who is Spandam's father. And my Rodrigo style is Jack White, and my other suggestion is actual human war criminal who appeared on The Simpsons, Henry Kissinger, who
Oh
would also
wow.
be a hilarious dad for American Dad Stan Smith.
Oh my god, that would.
Who do you have?
Alcatraz.
The rapper.
Yeah. I just kind of
Hmm.
wanted to get rid of him.
Why?
I don't know. Like being voiced by Hank Azaria. Hank, you gotta stop voicing people of color. You got a talent, but like, come on. Come on.
Okay,
You know it
but
don't look right, buddy, right? Like I get it, things were different back then, but like you know it's like different now. I don't know. I'm like ragging on him for something that is at this point like almost 20 years old. So
yeah,
don't listen to me, Hank. Hank, I loved you in Birdcage.
and I loved him on Brockmire.
And he was pretty good at Mystery Men.
Hmm. Yeah. Do we want to burn? Yeah. Well, we want to burn Henry Kissinger. Like, let's dig up his grave and toss him into the flames of Mount Doom so he's fully destroyed forever. But yeah. Have I sold you on Henry Kissinger?
If Spandine is canon dead in the Buster Call, then I would say Henry Kissinger right away. If not, I would save Henry Kissinger for somebody I know dies.
Unfortunately, even in modern day One Piece, Spandine is somehow still kicking around and is still embarrassed of his horrible son.
Ugh.
But I feel like Jack White is too cool for Spandine and wouldn't make a good father for Stan Smith, and Alcatraz just raises lots of issues.
George C. Scott. We didn't use him before. Why does can he fit in?
George C. Scott isn't daddy enough.
I don't know, dog.
Okay, Henry Kissinger
Is daddy?
No, Henry Kissinger is a full-on war criminal. George C. Scott is not a war criminal. Henry Kissinger would issue a buster call, Janine.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go and check out George C. Scott's IMDb right now. Ooh, passed away in 1999. Let's see. Known for actually playing Patton. That's definitely something that like Stan Smith would like. He's known for Exorcist 3. Who's known for Exorcist 3?
That, if I remember correctly, is the one where it gets good again by kind of like abandoning things.
Huh. He was a juror in 12 Angry Men.
Who wasn't?
Let's see here.
He was a member of They Might Be Giants. Wait, no, I read that wrong. He voiced Smoke in Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue.
He was General Buck Turgison in Doctor Strangelove.
Have you ever seen Doctor Strangelove, my friend?
I haven't, but it seems like it's on brand for like what we want here.
That character is a bit more of a loose cannon in a different way than Spandine is. We have a active opportunity to use a war criminal, and we will get to celebrate Spandine's death in the future, I am sure. And George C. Scott is and I don't say this lightly, an American hero.
Yeah, and America sucks.
It does. And you know who made it suck? Henry Kissinger. Janine, it is me, Henry Kissinger. Let me be Spandine.
Oh my
Let me be
god. I
both a
don't.
war criminal and the father of a war criminal. Let my policies continue to blight the world.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, but like it's fucking what? Like we use Kissinger and then like next time I find like an evil character, I'm like, "Oh, I want to use somebody that died so I can celebrate." And like I got to find somebody else. I don't know.
Janine, there's other shitty people who have appeared on The Simpsons. I mean, Mel Gibson is still. Do we want to use Mel Gibson here?
Haven't we used Mel Gibson before?
I'm checking. That's Mr. Gamel, Mr. Mello, Mutant Sideshow. No, we have not.
What the hell? And is he available at this point?
Yeah. Beyond Blunderdome was seasons ago, before One Piece started. And I think that Mel Gibson would be a fitting dad for Stan Smith.
Yeah, he would love that.
and we'll do shared credit for it.
Okie dokie.
All right. You never know which one is going to turn into a big debate. We then have Nico Olvia. Who do you have for Nico Olvia?
I have Joan Bushwell.
Of the Monkey Diamond Mine Bushwells.
The very same.
Mm-hmm. So I have 3 suggestions. My Rodrigo style is Meg White. I also have another librarian in here.
You're just hiding them from me someplace.
Oh, I have the master list that I write everything down on, and then I eventually copy that over.
No, I mean like the concept of hiding it's nothing. You just have so many librarians.
Yeah, well, I did a long search for librarians. So we have that librarian, and
I thought that is what I was doing when I searched up nerds, but people like to be specific.
And then I'm trying to get the image for the last one because that's when you're going to say, "Oh, yeah, that's the hot one." We also have important character, and Janine is going to say, "Swing." Edna Krabappoli.
Well, a person who's very turned on by middle-aged women. You son of a dick.
Edna Krabappoli, for those of you who forget, is a seductive drawing of Edna Krabappel for a Monopoly game. She wearing fishnets. She wear a top hat. She's smoking and not so smoking.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
And then
you came in with the hat.
and also Nico Olvia pretty much looks like her daughter does.
That is true. Like they basically just photocopied the face.
Mm-hmm. So I think Edna Krabappoli wins.
All right.
Hell yeah. What was I thinking there? For some reason, when I wrote, okay, that's why I wrote. We then have Sakazuki, who I also on the sheet included a image of future Sakazuki, as we're going to be seeing him later. Who did you have for Sakazuki?
Well, knowing that we're going to be seeing him later, knowing that he's kind of big, and knowing that there is just another one right around the corner, I was thinking about throwing out Fat Tony.
Interesting. So I'm not necessarily opposed to tabling him because we also haven't seen his powers at this point. We've just kind of gotten a taste. His policy, I believe, is absolute justice. My Rodrigo style was Rocky Balboa, and then I also had on Ernest Borgnine or Sean Connery.
If you think that perhaps his power would change things for me and my opinion of a Fat Tony, we can table him. We have a lot to burn through, so
yeah, let's table him for now.
In mud, we don't need to.
Yeah, we can table him until you really learn to hate him. All right. We then have Kanazeni, who is an old lady who briefly takes in Robin. The Rodrigo style I have is Clara Peller, who is the Where's the Beef lady. I also have Alice Glick, who all my homies hate Alice Glick, and Auntie Oven Fresh, the actual human one.
Well,
Who
I
you got?
have Daphne Burns.
Interesting.
You'll notice that they're both very old in the face.
Daphne Burns, for those of you who do not remember, is Mr. Burns' mother, who is still somehow alive.
We don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for us to know.
Yeah, she would be somewhere in her like 150s now, I believe, at this point. But also, Burns's timeline has changed. I'm going to use her.
Awesome.
Let's just keep it rolling. Up next, we have a character who, in the US version, is named Abscondo.
Okay, we'll call him Abscondo.
Yeah. His name in Japan is
You can look it up. You can
Naijirada.
look it up. No, that's not. It sounds way too similar.
Yeah, no, it is definitely a. I'm a white person. I shouldn't say this word.
Yep.
Mr. Ratata.
Let's not come close to it. Let's be afraid to say it.
Abscondo. It's our friend
Abscondo.
Abscondo. There's a guy at Funimation who's like, "Yep, Abscondo, where the passion fruit flows sweet."
I have Jeremy, the network executive. You'll see him. You'll know him when you see him. He's got the ponytail, the goatee. It kind of
He's
seems like a
blonde.
lot of them do have that. You know, like I just feel like he had like kind of around the same vibe. Whatever.
Once again, blowing another jazz man, I had Willie Mims as a Rodrigo style, and then the other suggestion I had was Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell is the blind man who adopts Santa's little helper and also just has a bunch of pot.
Oh.
I was trying to throw someone away. I don't feel like Mr. Mitchell is a good fit. I also don't feel like Jeremy, the network executive, is necessarily a good fit for this. Also, this character never comes back. We could just throw Willie Mims onto the pile of Forgotten Jasmine.
Sure. You'll be down one less Jasmine from the set, but okay.
It's fine. We can take Lisa to the pound and get her a new Jazzman. And then the last from Nico Robin's flashback is Chesquipa, who is a big old pirate man who things go poorly for. The suggestions I had were Primo for The Simpsons. And I don't remember who. Oh, Primo is a mobster who works for the rival Calabrese family. And then the Cayman Islands rep, the guy who's like, "Oh, it's too hot in here. Oh, I shouldn't have said it's an illegal account." Because that's his vibe. Who do you have?
Papa Smurf.
Wild. Janine?
Yeah?
I have some bad news.
What's that?
We may need to
Oh no, do we have to save Papa Smurf or something?
We may need to save the Smurfs. I forgot that they had appeared on The Simpsons. Oh, also, Papa Smurf's first appearance was in an episode we haven't gotten to. He is mentioned in Treehouse of Horror 10.
Oh,
His first appearance is Homerland.
you escaped me this time, Papa Smurf, but next time.
You'll get him and turn him into potion.
I'm Gargamel, bitch.
uh, so, Primo or Cayman Islands rep?
I'm good with Primo.
Actually, I do want to push for Cayman Islands rep.
Oh my god. Okay, fine.
Okay. Because he wears the shirt. Like, he does have the vibe much more than Primo.
Okay.
Because
I mean,
like,
I have yet to see Primo. When I do, I'll have like, I mean, like to see him in action. I mean,
yeah,
when I do, I'll have like a much more firmer opinion. But if you think Primo will be better utilized somewhere else, then we'll just go ahead and just use
yeah, we
somebody.
need to hold on. We need to hold on to mobsters, Janine. I'm sorry.
Okie doke.
Yeah. So Cayman Islands rep, a character well known for memes, is our chess keeper, and then we have 3 members of Shake's crew who have, since the episodes initially aired, gotten names. Up first, we got Bach Punch.
Right off the bat, A+ name.
Mm-hmm. He is one of the senior officers and a musician of the Red Hair Pirates.
All right, I have down Bernie from Homer Goes to College. Now, I did write this one kind of first, so I have no idea right now what he looks like.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been calling to try and use Bernie for a while now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want to use Bernie here, and you don't like either of these suggestions that I have, we can do that. The the Rodrigo sound that I have is Lars Ulrich from Metallica, because we had used a lot of musicians and like celebrities for it. The other episode that we had, or the other character that I had, is Ken Keeler, who is a Simpsons writer, and I'm trying to find the actual image of him in the show. Or did the Simpsons wiki steer me wrong? Oh, maybe. Hmm. Yeah, he has written a lot of episodes that I enjoyed. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Because if you remember, our Shanks is Conan O'Brien.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, that guy is close enough to being bald. He is currently bald, but that would fit into the kind of theming that we have.
I don't know.
I feel like Lars Ulrich might fit more.
Oh no, he wouldn't. I'm sorry.
Do not want.
I've got beef with Lars.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What did What beef do you have with Lars, out of curiosity?
Um, Napster. He was one of
We-
the first artists to like really
we-
go after sharing music files. And I'm kind of a rebel. I'm kind of the person that would, record stuff from the radio on the cassette tape. I kind of feel like, maybe if you have something, you should be able to share it with whoever you want. I don't know, but I understand protecting artists like Lars Ulrich. The uh there is a documentary, Some Kind of Monster, and it's like the making of the stuff, and like
Mhm.
they're like so destructive towards each other. They're fighting. It is chaotic, and it's like, wow, maybe these people shouldn't write music, and then like they start coming out with stuff, and it's like passable. I don't know. Metallica kind of took a dip right when Saint Anger hit, and I was just like, I'm out. Ah.
Homer Simpson, nodding politely. Um, hmm.
I'm fine using Billy Corgan if we haven't used him.
I've got beef with Billy Silly.
I do too, I guess. I don't know.
You know who we could use?
Who could we use?
We can use Simpsons director Jim Reardon.
I've seen his name a lot on the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Also,
Just writers and
theoretically,
producers just writing with Conan.
mhm. I was also going to say, technically, this level should have had, or this list should have Monster on it. Monster is the name of Bonk Punch's monkey, but the One Piece wiki doesn't consider him to have an appearance in this.
Huh.
So we can table Monster for the next full episode.
Sure. I guess we'll wait for Monster.
Uh huh. Because I think we also only have like one character, but we want to spend our time to get the correct monkey match. Hey, gang, this is Luke doing the editing. Before you send in comments, I was very tired. Monster doesn't show up for like another 100 plus episodes. Up next, we have Lime Juice. My Rodrigo style was James Hetfield, and my other one was Bob Anderson, who is another Simpsons writer or another Simpsons director who has a similar enough hair and demeanor.
I suppose.
Who do you have?
I have Wavy Gravy.
You mean Mr. Burns in disguise?
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's the guy.
There might be another opportunity where we can use that.
I didn't expect Wavy Gravy to get Ooter piled.
What are you doing with your gravy, Janine?
It's just that I feel that maybe you're front loading a little bit of like I guess I can't argue too much for this one also being like a writer, but like yeah, I guess the aesthetic of that particular writer does fit a little
Well,
bit better
and I
than
mean,
leaving, maybe, but
well, and then we could be like, "Hey, Bob Anderson, we cast you. Have you watched One Piece at all? Do you keep up with The Simpsons? Do you want to come on the show where we've cast you?
oh my
Oh, thanks for
god,
coming on the show. Do you want to invite Conan O'Brien on? Does Conan O'Brien know what a One Piece is?
that gives me
And what's
anxiety just thinking about just that conversation.
and what's this? We have a special guest. We have the Celery Man himself here, and he wants to play a clip from One Piece, and then that's when we play the Mac and Me audio."
Well, you see, we're close to the end right now. We have
Yeah.
so much raw audio recorded. We have so much more that we have to do. I am
Uh huh.
tired. And you've got me like, what I just want to go now.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm going to have a drink after this one before we do the next one. So,
all right. You can have
uh,
that.
last one we have is Building Snake. Who you got for Building Snake?
I have the saxophonist that was thought to have robbed Lisa of the saxophone because he was playing a saxophone inside of the one Homer the Vigilante.
Mhm. I can kind of see it. My Rodrigo style was Kirk Hammett, who I believe is another Metallica.
Yes, he is the guitarist for it. I know that because my brother was obsessed with guitarists as he was a guitarist in high school. When I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, as I was gathering all of the GFs, he would tell me to name them after particular guitarists that he liked. And Kirk Hammett was Bahamut.
Okay.
For people that know
Uh,
Metallica and Final Fantasy VIII, tell me if that's cool.
Fair enough. The other suggestion that I have is not going to be a big surprise. It is Simpsons writer and Futurama co creator David S., sometimes X, Cohen. Janine, we have a theme now.
No, you have a theme.
Yeah, I have a theme. We've worked together to build a theme.
Uh, no, you fucking wore me down so you can get a theme in. We have Kirk Van Houten in this crew. Can I borrow a feeling?
You don't think that Kirk Van Houten is based on a Simpsons production staff member?
If he is or if he isn't, if he's voiced by him or if he's not, it doesn't matter because he's named something different.
Kirk doesn't count, just like Millhouse doesn't count.
Oh my god, we have them as prominent cast members.
uh,
Like there are so many other ones that like just aren't writers and all of a sudden, oh hey, look at all of these people that worked on The Simpsons who are now in a pirate crew, I guess.
led by Conan O'Brien with Brett Councilman on the crew, Nick number one, Kirk Van Houten, and One Piece. Uh,
Oh my god. I'm going to put my foot down on saxophonist or something because I just oh
you need a victory.
I need to stop what is happening because if somehow Shanks gets any more people up on there and there any of them that's end up becoming more writers and things like that, I don't know. Like he's a fucking big shot pirate guy. They just made this shit.
All right. Combo breaker. You got your saxophonist. This is Lucan as I am editing. We forgot to read off the names, so putting that in here now. Our Roji is Marge actor, our Mizuira is Lisa actor, our Oron is Homer actor, our Clover is Caleb Thorne, our Rent is Goody Sarah Wiggum, our Hack is Huck Finn, our Graham is Librarian, our Bushiri is Gary, our Roche is Benjamin, our Zaddy is Cowboy, our Hoka is Poochie Artist, our Jaguar D Sol is George Meyer, our Lasky is Robbie the Automaton, our Spandine is Mel Gibson, our Nico Olvia is Edna Krabopoli, our Sakazuki is tabled for the time being, our Kanazeni is Daphne Burns, our Abscondo is Willie Mims, our Cheskeepa is Cayman Islands rep, our Bog Punch is Jim Reardon, our Lime Juice is Bob Anderson, and Building Snake is the saxophonist. All right, well, we'll be back in 2 more weeks while I am away on vacation with an SBS because all of these episodes had non-canon bits, and while we are going to cover a non-canon special coming up, we didn't want to do a full 45-minute or a full 45 character list in a single episode on top of everything else. Janine, where can people find you? Cursing my name.
You can find me somehow still up on Twitter. I'm networking. I'm getting things ready. You'll see very soon. You'll hear very soon. You can find me on there at Janine Juliet. You could also find me on Blue Sky. Please follow me there, and I'll be more active. That is JanineJuliet.bisky.social. And God, I don't know. I'm changing things around. I'm seeing how I feel about different screen names. So like don't try to find me other places right now because they might change and you might not be able to find until you hear it from me. Just stick to Blue Sky and Twitter for me for right now.
And if you want to find me online and curse my name, you can find me in most places as Coltreg. It's KOLTREG, including Discord. If you just want to send me a Discord and say, yo ho ho, Luke, I like the show.
That feels dangerous, dog. There's some fucking stuff people can send you, dog.
Yeah, but if they send me something that I don't want, I can just block them, Janine.
Okay, don't click any links then.
What is Blue Waffle? What? There's a lemon party, Janine. Should I click on that?
Oh my god. Yes.
But yeah, you can find me. I also have a Patreon that goes to support this show, but also goes to support like other creators whose work I enjoy. Some of them who have been on this podcast, and yeah, it's a busy world. Our cover art is by Mike Patton. You can find on most places at Patton Pending, PattenPending. And DohMance Don't, we update every 2 weeks. Our next episode is going to be an SBS because I will be on vacation when we would normally record, and we got to kind of prep things in advance. So join us at our website, DohMance Dawn, or follow us on YouTube. And if you also go to my YouTube, you can see all 100 episodes of RPG Pals Club on there as well. Yeah, and we also have a Blue Sky, and there's also a Facebook and a Tumblr, but I kind of gave up on updating the Tumblr because it wasn't getting a lot of attention, and I hate posting to Facebook. If you want to help out with social media, let us know. I don't like doing that. Anyways, we'll be back in 2 more weeks. Happy New Year, and what a wild world.